morning everyone. In my presentation, I am going to talk about Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, a theory of motivation which states that a human decision making is undergirded by a hierarchy of psychological needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, a theory of motivation which states that human decision making is undergirded by a hierarchy of psychological needs. In other words, for Maslow, human actions are motivated in order to attain certain ends. In fact, at the core of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is the question, what motivates human behavior? As the way of addressing this question, Maslow's contend that human need can be organized into a hierarchy. These hierarchy range from more concrete needs such as food and water to abstract concepts such as self-fulfillment. According to the Maslow, a lower need is met, the next need in the hierarchy become our focus of attention. According to the Maslow, there are 5 categories of human needs that describe as individuals' behavior. There are 5 needs. These needs are physiological needs, safety needs, love and belonging needs, esteem needs and self-actualization needs. Now I am going to describe each needs one by one. Right. On physiological needs, physical needs like drinking water when thirsty or eating when hungry. For example, maintaining a body temperature of 98.7 degrees, Maslow considers physiological needs most essential for our needs. If someone is lacking more than one need, they are likely to try to meet these physiological needs first. For example, if someone is extremely hungry, it's hard to focus on anything else besides food. Another example of such physiological needs would be the need for adequate sleep. The second need is safety needs. On safety needs, once people's physiological requirements are met, the next that arises is a safe environment. Our safety needs are apparent even early in childhood as children have a need for safe and predictable environment and typically react with fear or anxiety when these are not met. Maslow pointed out adults living in developed nations, safety needs are more apparent in emergency situation. Safety needs are more apparent. Again, I repeat, safety needs are more apparent in emergency situation. For example, war and disaster. But these needs can also explain why we tend to prefer the familiar or why we do things like purchase insurance, and insurance can contribute to saving account. The third one is love and belonging needs. On love and belonging needs, according to the Maslow, next need in the hierarchy involves feeling loved and accepted. These needs includes both romantic relationship as well ties to friends and family members. It also include our needs to feel that we belong to social groups. Importantly, this need encompasses both feeling loved and feeling love towards others. Since Maslow's times, researchers have continued to explore how love and belonging needs impact well-being. For example, having social consequence for health and well-being. Other need is esteem needs. Then, on esteem needs, our esteem need involve the desire to feel good about ourselves. According to the Maslow, esteem need is included two components. The first component involves feeling self-confident and feeling good about oneself. The second component involves feeling valued by others, that is, feeling that our achievement and contribution have been recognized by other people. When people's esteem needs are not met, they feel confident and see their contribution and achievement as valuable and important. However, when their esteem needs not met, they may experience what psychologist Alfred Adler called feeling of inferiority. On self-actualization, on self-actualization needs feeling fulfilled, feeling that we are living up to our potential. One unique feature of self-actualization is that is look different for everyone. Self-actualization refers feelings fulfilled or feeling that we are living up to our potential. One unique feature of self-actualization is that it looks different for everyone. For one person, self-actualization might involve helping others. For another person, it might involve achievement in an artistic or creative field. Essentially, self-actualization means feeling that we are doing what we able or believe we are meant to do. According to Maslow, achieving self-actualization is relative or rare, and his examples for famous self-actualized individuals include Abraham Lincoln, Albert Einstein, and Mother Teresa. How do individuals progress through the hierarchy of needs? Postulated that there were several prerequisites to meeting these needs. Now, how do individuals progress through the hierarchy of needs? Maslow postulated that there were several prerequisites to meeting these needs. For example, freedom of speech and freedom of experience. Living in a just and fair society are specially mentioned within the hierarchy of needs. But Maslow believed that having these things make it easier for people to achieve their needs. In addition to these needs, Maslow also believed we have a need to learn new information and to better understand the world around us. This because learning more about our environment helps us meet to our another needs. For example, learning more about the world can help us feeling safer and developing a better understanding of a topic one is passionate about. One contribute to self-actualization. However, Maslow also believed that this call to understand the world around is an innate needs as well. Over Maslow's presented his need in a hierarchy, he also acknowledged that meeting each need is not all or nothing polyminent. People don't need to completely satisfy one need in order the next need in the hierarchy of emergence. Consequently, people don't need to completely satisfy one need in order for the next need in the hierarchy of emergence. Maslow suggested that at hierarchy are typically one that people have made the most progress towards. Additionally, Maslow pointed out that one behavior might meet two or more needs. For example, sharing a meal with someone meets the physiological needs for food, but might also meet the need of belonging. Similarly, coverage, working as a paid caregivers would provided someone with income will allow them to pay for food them and shelter, but can also provide them a sense of social connection and fulfillment. As is well known, Maslow's theory has become widely popular both and out of psychology. The field on education and business have been particularly influenced by the theory. Very popular, Maslow's theory of motivation not being without criticism. Chief among these are the ideas. The first needs don't follow a creation hierarchy, and second, the theory is difficult to test. To the first, while some researchers showed some support for Maslow's theory, most research has not been able to sustain for a needs hierarchy. Wuba and Lawrence Bridewell reported that there was a title evidence for Maslow's ranking of these needs and even less evidence that these needs are in a hierarchical order. The second and last, other criticism of Maslow's theory note that his definition of self-actualization is difficult to test scientifically. His research on self-actualization was also based on a very limited sample of individuals, including people new as well as biographies of famous individuals that Maslow believed to be self-adequate. Now, in my point of view, there are 5 Maslow's hierarchy of needs. In here, I explain all the things. I think you are able to understand what I am saying. Oh, thank you very much. Have a good day.